question I want to pose now is, are we living in a world of change? And I want to show you a short little video clip that I think is quite impressive. Right, when you look at that, you'd say, wow, lots of change. Most of those services didn't exist in 2004. A few years later, and there are millions of photos being uploaded to things like Flickr, and millions of posts and photos and things being uploaded to Facebook, and on it goes. So in such a short period of time, the change is just unbelievable. And you've gone sites like Facebook that have gone from like 0 to billions or over 1 billion. And so it's happening extremely quickly. But the question still remains, are we really seeing change? And I want you to look at this sequence of photos that I put together. And on the left, we've got a school, and on the right, we've got an office. Now, I don't think any of you are around the 1800s, so I got photos from them because I was worried how far back we could go. But there's a school and the office in the 1800s. Flicking forward to 1910, school and an office, not much difference. In the 1920s, anyone alive then? No, just checking. Okay, school and an office. 1930s. Now we get into the 40s, maybe still sort of similar. In the 50s. Anyone go to school in the 50s? Okay, you don't have to say. Okay, the 60s. The office has sort of gone into color. Right now we start to see a little bit of a difference. School, office in the 70s. School and the office in the 80s. The 90s. And jumping forward to today. And generally speaking, offices have changed. They've become computerized, and it's all over the business world. Yet schools, generally speaking, have remained much the same as they were in the 1800s or the 1700s or the 1600s possibly. They've remained the same. And the one thing is that schools typically have no technology. That's one of the things. And so, as a result, we may answer, yes, there has been lots of change, but maybe in education, we haven't seen a lot of change. But you may say, no, Craig, that's not true. We are using tech in our schools. We've got iPads, or we've got computer rooms. We definitely, that's not us. I can see, we can laugh at those guys. Those are them, not us. We are using technology in our schools. In fact, you may say, well, we've got smart boards. You know, we've got these sort of fancy smart boardy type things, or whatever. There's a smart board there. We've got fancy projection screens. We are using technology. In fact, we've rolled out an iPad program or some Android devices. All of our kids at the school have that. So we are using technology. Well, this is very interesting. About a year or two ago, the LA district in America rolled out a huge program of iPads. And within about 6 months, there was all sorts of dramas, and it came up with that failed iPad experiment shows bring your own device belongs in schools. And literally about a week ago, this thing came out. LA cancels iPads in schools program, a failure of vision, not technology. And this is something that is not unique to America. Schools are saying, yeah, I'm using technology. We've got iPads, we've got this, we've got that. Yet are they being used successfully? Or is it just something that we can say, wow, we've got them? And when you put the glossy magazine at the end of the year for the parents to see, they see that kid sitting in the classroom with a smile, holding the iPad. And so the problem is that a failure of the technology, or is that a failure of our vision? Is it a failure of our strategy? Or possibly even more fundamental, is it a failure of our pedagogy? And that's what I particularly want us to explore. All of this, if you only leave here with one thing, because I like this. When I go to presentation, I can't remember many things. At the end of it, I could just come back. Someone says, what was it about? I say, what was the one thing? Okay, here's the one thing. If we want to summarize what our big mistake is, and I've made this mistake over and over and over again every time I've tried to use technology in teaching, and I've done it for about 15 years or 20 years using technology in teaching. I've researched it, yet I've made this mistake over and over and over and over again, is this single mistake. Control C, Control V. That is the big mistake. What does that mean? Copy paste. This is the single biggest mistake we make when it comes to trying to implement technological solutions in our schools. And what do I mean? Well, I did this. I saw we had lecture theatres at the university. And I thought, I'll tell you what, we copy these and then we paste them into a virtual world. And that's exactly what we did. At the start of the presentation, you saw that virtual world. We created an entire auditorium. It doesn't work. You see, it just doesn't operate like this. These guys were fitting with little avatars, trying to get and sit down on the seat and then watch a slideshow. And I'm thinking, why are they going to all, this is ridiculous. Why do they want to get their little man navigated to sit here to watch a slideshow in Second Life when he might as well just download the slideshow on his computer and watch it? But I felt so proud. I had copied the real world and created a digital equivalent. Here's another one. We can take blackboards and we say, we want technology. I know, we copy that and paste it and look, I've got a smart board. I'm using technology. I've taken old technology, offline technology, and I've now got new technology. Or maybe books, and this is probably what most schools are doing. We take a book, I know what we can do to use technology, we'll put it on the iPad. Now we're using technology. They're reading the book on the iPad. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, okay, it's fascinating. It is amazing in some ways, because it's lighter, so they can carry 50 books. I'm not saying there's no benefit. You save trees and squirrels and all these sort of things. But are we using the technology really for teaching? Or are we simply copy-pasting from the offline world to the online world? We have notice boards at the university. Schools have notice boards. So I know what I can do is I can take the notice board and I can have a system like Moodle or whatever, and I can put the notices there. Wow, I'm using technology. And we have so many of our lecturers at the university who do this. They upload their slides. Now they're using technology because someone can now download it. They post their notices on a learning management system. People can read them online. Wow, I'm using technology. And this, to me, is the great delusion. That is not using technology for learning. It's the illusion of using it, but we are denying the power that really lies in technology. And this is where we need a reset. And I'm saying this from my own mistakes. I've done this over and over again. I've done the copy-paste. And so, what's the problem? My favorite Zulu word, angas. I don't know. We're lost. We don't know how to do things. And that's not strange, because we're in this era when technology's come in the last 10 years and it's flooded us, social media things, and we're looking at the stuff and we're saying, man, billions of people are using it. We know our kids can't concentrate anymore. What do I do? Well, the best thing I do is just copy paste it and hopefully it'll work. We don't really know what to do. We're a little bit lost. And so where do we turn to for advice? We say we need advice. We need to figure out how we're going to get to this new place, this new technology place. Well, we needed advisors. Vendors, the media maybe can help us. Our kids' parents will give us lots of advice. The current pedagogies we have. And so what do? A vendor knocks at the door, goes knock, 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 and says, hi, I'm from Apple, and you should use iPads. And we go, yes, we should. Thank you. And we've got iPads, and we've got books on them now. Or a vendor knocks at the door and says, I'm from Moodle, or I'm from wherever it is, and you should have our learning management system. We go, of course we should. We don't know what to do with it, but we'll have it. Or the parents are saying, so what are you using? At that school, they're using Android devices. Of course we should. We will too. And we are getting all of our direction from all sorts of people. And even from ourselves, we're trying, but we actually don't really know which way we should go.